So hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Hamza. I hope you guys are crushing it in life. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And in today's video, like I said earlier, I'm gonna review my 1972 SL450 for you guys and give you guys an honest ownership experience of what I thought when I bought this car and what actually the ownership has been like for me. Now before I get started with the video, I must warn you that this car is a little bit illegal, just like my AMG, as in it has expired plates. Just don't tell anybody. It does have expired plates. Of course, that is mainly due to the situation that we're in. Like I said in the earlier video, law enforcement is cooperative right now, but I am going to get this car registered as soon as I think it is safe to do so. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let me give you guys the backstory on this vehicle. So I had just closed a big real estate deal and I was looking to celebrate, and I found this on the market. It was immaculate. It came with a hardtop. I don't have it on right now, but it did come with a hardtop. Interior was in perfect condition. The guy who owned it had service records all the way from 1976, I believe, and that was good enough for me. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is a one-owner vehicle and it has been garage kept for almost the entirety of its life. So anyways, I get in touch with the guy. The guy's wife actually calls me back and says, please get this car out of our garage. It has cost us way too much money, and the husband is not ready to sell and just keeps putting more and more money into it, which is why the car is in such great condition. The paint is immaculate. The wheel hubs are immaculate. Even the top just was recently replaced. That was of course before I bought it a few years ago. And I have since then garage kept the vehicle, so it hasn't seen too much drive time. And like I said, it did come with those original Mercedes-Benz hubs, which are very, very rare to find these days. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Just look at those beautiful hubs. Those are original. They match the original Mercedes-Benz paint, which is immaculate. And with that, let's go into B-roll. So when I made an offer on this vehicle, I at the time owned an AMG GTS, which I still own till date, and I thought they looked very similar, which means that the AMG GTS did pull some inspiration from the SL, and they do have some things in common. Like if you notice, this grille looks very similar to the grille that I have on my AMG GTS. And I absolutely fell in love with how clean this car was. I also love how the SL actually has this line from headlight to headlight, and it's one continuous line. It looks just so beautiful, so elegant. It gives that SL body, the side of the SL body, that depth that it really needs. Another part of the exterior that I really love about this SL is all the chrome bits that it has. Look at this. It has the chrome mirrors, it has the chrome windshield, it even has this chrome piece that's separated from the windshield on the A-pillar, and it has a chrome piece right back here as well, which just looks phenomenal. I guess the people who drove this back in the day really liked chrome. It was like a higher end product, and that's why Mercedes decided to do it. And of course, we have more chrome on the rear bumper. And with that, let's take a look inside the car. Wow, look at that. Leather on leather on leather. The car is absolutely wrapped with premium leather everywhere. I don't know if you guys can see that clearly, but let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. As you can see, there is premium leather wrapped everywhere. And these three vents, back in 72, my AMG GTS actually has the same three vents that this SL in 72 had. So obviously there is some inspiration from the SL that transferred onto the AMG GTS. You have to realize that the SL of the time in 1972 was in fact a two-seater, so a driver's seat and a passenger seat, and there are no seats in the back. I don't know if there were any seat options that came with the SL as back seats, but I doubt they did at the time. It'll still fit a full size of golf clubs, that's no problem. I think that's what Mercedes was going for anyways back in the day. Now I want to give you guys a tour of the interior. It's a beautiful interior, and as you can see, it has underlights, which the SL had back in the day. That's pretty cool, I think, to have underlights. That's their classic radio station with the 3 air vents. The AC system is fairly simple. There's 2 knobs. One of them turns the fan and the other one cools the vehicle. That's just your temperature. You have gauges for like heater and other stuff, but I haven't really used those since I live in Houston, Texas. We're mainly on the air conditioning side. Moving on to the gauge cluster. This gauge cluster is just phenomenal. I think it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gauges in 3 instruments. At the time, that was, I think, a very luxurious movement to have 6 different indicators and 6 different things to measure in 3 gauge clusters. And of course, going back to the classic Mercedes steering wheel, I really love the steering wheel. I think Mercedes did, at the time, a beautiful job of creating a steering wheel for this vehicle. Now, one thing I did notice about these air vents is they're like a little difficult to move, but if you want to move them, you just need to push them a little inside and then they rotate and move all around. I think that was something that Mercedes created to kind of lock them into position. So if I wanted to move it, I actually do have to press it a little inside and then move it, and then that's the way it stays, right? So if I wanted to just straighten them, I guess I could, and this would keep it locked. So every time it's outside facing, that means that your air conditioner position is now locked. And I think that's pretty smart, because I think they knew these vehicles were going to age, and this way, since there's a lock mechanism, it's not going to be all flimsy, which I thought was great. Now, moving on from the interior, let me tell you guys what the ownership experience has been like. When I bought this car, I fell in love with it. It was an impulse buy. I thought I was going to daily drive it. I thought I was going to drive it, you know, at every occasion. The thing is about these cars is, at the time, they weren't very expensive. I mean, this one particularly was expensive, but you can find some on the market that are priced really well. So yes, as I was saying, at the time, I thought that I was going to drive this car a lot. I was going to have a lot of fun with it. I was going to go out with it. I was going to put the top down. I was going to do all these things that I had dreamed of doing in my SL450. The truth is, as much as I like to drive cars, this is probably the lowest mile car I have in my garage. And the reason is, I just don't drive it as much as I like to. Another reason for that is, it has been fairly reliable, but inside, for whatever reason, I'm always worried that this car will take me to an event and it'll break down there. And for that reason, I haven't put too much time and effort into it. Now, that being said, it has never really left me stranded. It has once or twice maybe decided that it just doesn't want to start for whatever reason. But then, you know, give it 5 minutes and it starts right back up. But you can imagine, if you're going to an event, the last thing you want is a car that'll take 5 minutes to start. And this is why I partnered up with a local garage who's going to help me diagnose what the issue is. It could be something very simple, but they're going to diagnose that issue for me and also fix the air conditioner. The air conditioner, although cold, could be cooler. I think it's low on Freon is probably what it is. But I am going to take this to the shop. They're going to diagnose the issues and let me know exactly what I need to do to make this car a true collector's vehicle that I can take out on Cars with Coffee and car meets and occasions if I ever wanted to. And with that, let me jump into maintenance cost. So I've owned this car for just around 2 years. I have only done one oil change that cost me, I want to say like $100 in those 2 years. Nothing else. I did not check the AC. I never replaced the brakes. I even have not replaced the tires. These are all things that I plan on doing over time, and I'm going to document all of that on my channel. The engine is in great condition, so I'm not considering an engine swap. No LS1 for this one. But stay tuned, you never know what happens. We could go crazy. We could turn this into a fuel-injected machine. I don't know. And that completes my review of the 1972 SL450. I really think it's a beautiful piece of machine, and it's gonna be in my garage for a very long time. That's it for me. I'll see you guys next video.